Hello, my name is John O'Connor, and for the duration of this video, I shall be your tour guide, navigator, and liaison in this strange, sometimes beautiful, often cruel world we call Lexington. Now today, I wanted to talk about how magic items work in my world. More to the point, discount magic items. In a later video, I will talk about how the actual creation of magic items goes about in my world, but today, just wanted to talk about discount ones. Now, this is the DMG, Dungeon Master's Guide, a Christmas gift from the girl who cries on command to yours truly. Now, Chapter 7 has a rich cornucopia of different magic items. What they do not have is Billy Bob's discount items. Now, what are discount items? Why do I like them so much? Simple. This book tells you how much something should cost. I submit to you, these costs are not set in stone. Now I'm not talking about supply and demand, fair market cost, and shortages and stuff of that nature. That can all be applied later. What I'm talking about is sometimes, you can get something a little bit cheaper. Force Shield, standard, $8,500. I submit to you that you could probably get one, probably a third, maybe a fourth cheaper, if you're willing for it to be a Force Shield of a +1 to your shield bonus instead of a +2. Again, sometimes the spell doesn't work all that well, and the wizard's just not going to say, well, I wasted 2 hours of my time crafting this item and, taking the time to study and work on it. He's going to go, I need to make my investment back. I spent my personal time, my materials, my dragon shards, that's actually the substitute for experience we use in my campaign world, making this, and I kind of like to get a return on it. So also sell it as a discount item. Doesn't work completely, but it does a better job than what most people have. But that's rings, and that's few and far between. Where discount items really take their shine is in wands. Now, why do wands fit discount items so much? Because right here, where you can read all about wands, these prices are given for 50 charges. So, my world, what can you do? You can go to a wizard, you can go to a shopkeep who sells magic items, and if they craft magic items, now this is the difference. You have to find people who craft them. You cannot just find wholesalers. You cannot find people with who are buying from a third-party source and reselling. They cannot make custom items. You need to find a store where the caster is also the cashier, or at least the owner. In those particular cases, you can get discount magic items, because it is not taking any more time or effort for him to make a wand with 30 charges, just as it was if he was making one with 50 charges. That actually can make his job sometimes easier. He can probably rush your order sometimes, because another big factor of magic items in my world is, yes, if you have the money, you can get your hands on them, which I know that's a big no in some people's campaigns. But here's the thing: magic items are kind of like guns sometimes, where you can't just walk off the street and go, well, I'd like to buy this necklace of fireball. That wizard or sorcerer or whatever is accountable for merchandise that comes out of his shop. So you have to kind of build your clout a little bit. He might send you on a couple quests, or maybe you've been on a couple quests and he's heard about you, and you gain a little popularity or maybe some infamy. So then he'll do business with you. But shopkeepers just aren't going to give you whatever you want because you just happen to have money. They don't know where that money came from. They don't know you. They don't like you. They want to do business with people they can trust and people they can rely on to come back for more and more business. So sometimes you go in there and you want a, let's look at this real quick. I want a wand of stone skin, which retails for 33,500 gold. Okay? He might not be comfortable making such a large item for you, because even if you shed out the money right then and there, he's going to have questions about where it came from. And if the city guard gets involved and they found out you stole and that money you gave him has to go back to the owners and he's made this magic item he can't sell, well, suddenly he's out of a lot of money, and he, again, a little leery about that. So, what's the compromise here? Discount magic items. He's not going to sell you the $33,500 retail magic wand of stone skin, but maybe you can negotiate with him to get one with 2 charges, which would only retail for $1,340. Now, how did I come up with that number? Well, simple. A wand has 50 charges. You divide that by 50, and that's the cost of a single charge. That's what a single charge is costing you. And it's not too unreasonable to go to him and go, okay, well, I'd like a wand of this. Can I just get 2 charges of it? I'd like a wand of that. Can I get 3 charges of it? Because, again, especially if there's a large material component that's costing the shopkeeper money, he's going to be a lot more willing to invest a couple hundred as opposed to a couple thousand in you. So until he gets to know you better, you might be limited to discount magic items, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you need a really good spell, but you can't afford the best version of it. Sometimes you have to settle for something lesser. And it's just a fun way to go about things, you know. Sometimes you can have this Cure Serious Wounds wand that you were able to get at a relatively low level. The problem with it is you could afford 1-2 charges. And wands can't be recharged. So when you go back in there, you have to buy a complete new wand. With the staff, if the staff is rechargeable, you know, maybe he can cut you a little break there, but wands, he's going to get you every time. I'd venture to say in my world, most spellcasters who open up shops make their money on the sale of wands more so than wands, maybe potions above wands, but it's going to be either wands, potions, or potion wands, and then everything else comes after that, because, yeah, later adventurers might want some enchanted weapons, they might want, you know, a couple rings, but, I mean, it's always a sure bet that you're going to get your casters in there, wanting wands of spells they already know, your rogues in there to do, you know, okay, I want that because I might need it sometime. So, I mean, there's a large turnaround on that. Another thing about magic items in my world is, there is an artificial, we're going to get into some economic terms here, there's an artificial demand, because although it may take the wizard a couple hours to make an item, any good wizard worth his salt is going to give the impression of being busy, give the impression of, well, that takes time and effort. So, unless you're going to pay a little extra money to get your order expedited, most of the time a magic item is going to take you a couple weeks to a couple months, depending on what kind, you know, how big of an item you want, because the wizard isn't just going to take your order and go, okay, I'll be right out with it, you know. No, it's kind of an unspoken rule in the business of arcane. Make those without weight. You know, it kind of, you know, if they're in a rush and they're trying to get something, you know, you might be able to get a feel for, you know, what's going on here. And, you know, occasionally you don't care what the feel is, you know, well, you tell them, hey, you want it done tomorrow, it's going to cost you extra, you know, that's my time and energy going into something. So, yes, there is a rather large amount of magic items in my world. I would venture to say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 7. Common folks might have one item that they don't know is arcane in their home, and adventurers will be, you know, carrying quite a few items. And, you know, people, you know, your mamaw might be buried with a ring of protection, which was her wedding ring or something, you know, and God forbid that anyone ever turn your mamaw into a zombie, and then they have to kill that zombie, and they take the ring as a trophy, and then they come and sit in your tavern. That's going to start some awkward conversations, especially if it has like an inscription on it, you know, with love from Henry. They come and sit in your, oh, do you know a bloke named Henry? No, why would I? Why are you wearing my mamaw's ring? So, you know, occasionally magic items pop up with that, but This is the trade and sell of magic items in my world. Discount items can be made, we can strike a deal, but again, most adventurers who stay stationary in a city or something are going to want to make a business relationship with one, maybe two different shops. You don't want to be known as the guy who goes to all different shops, doing price comparisons, because though you might be able to get a better price once or twice, wizards appreciate brand loyalty. They appreciate return customers. They're more willing to do something for you if they know that next time you have a need of a wand or an upgrade to your armor, you're going to think about them first. It's just like a mechanic. And if a mechanic knows that you're fishing around for other prices, yeah, when you first called them, they could see you today, but if you tell them, hey, I'm going to go shop around a little bit, and you call them back 3 hours later, yeah, that guy might go, I could probably fit you in tomorrow. Because, he was ready to take you 2 hours ago. And, in his mind, you wasted some of his time. So, that's the same mentality wizards take. Yes, they're not going to deny, they're not going to turn down your gold. Your gold is just as shiny as somebody else's. But they have the ability to make you wait. So it's always a good idea, form one good relationship, and the need to form two, maybe your wizard doesn't do armors, or maybe he doesn't do weapon enchantments. So instead of going out there and going, well, okay, well, you don't do that, I'll come back for you when I need potions, and I'm going to go find someone else. You ask him, just, well, if you don't do weapons or armor, could you recommend me to somebody? Could I go to another shop and tell them that you sent me? So again, you make them feel like they're part of the adventure. You make them feel like they're part of the negotiation, and suddenly, again, they're willing to be a lot more friendly with you. Yeah, I know this is kind of evolving into how to practice good business etiquette, but these rules apply to magic items. Yes, discount magic items can be made, but if you're not willing to work with the shopkeeper, and ask the right questions and have the right tone about it, he might just go, I can't make discount items. No, 50 charges, you have to get the maximum. But if you're willing to grease the wheels a little bit, sweet talk him, ask him how his days go, yeah, you'll find out that it's not hard to make a discount wand, and that it can be done relatively easily. And if you're willing to pay a little extra, or, talk the guy up a bit, your order could be expedited. So instead of waiting 2 months to get 10,000 gold worth of equipment finished, suddenly 2 months becomes a month or 2 weeks. Yeah, he's probably still going to make you wait, but you're going to take priority over the last 3 Joe Schmoes who came in and were just so matter of fact, need this, when will it be ready, alright, goodbye. Again, your shopkeepers have lives outside of their business, just like you have lives outside of your adventuring. So you treat them like human beings, they'll treat you like human beings. There's a little bit of understanding between the two of you, and suddenly you can get some good items. So, as always guys, tell me what you think. Please leave me a comment either on the YouTube RPG Brigade or on my channel. And please, if you're enjoying my content, I highly encourage you, like, share, and subscribe. I enjoy always the conversation with you guys, and I enjoy when I get new subscribers or somebody comes across my content and leaves me a comment for the first time. So with that in mind, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later.